Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So we've got a couple of things to go over today. Firstly, I'm going to be going over some of the Silver Templar stuff. If you are a subscriber to the Conquest Magazine, they've just released some personal stuff for the Silver Templars. Data sheets, stratagems, decals. We're going to be looking into that all in depth. That was sent to me by a chap over on my Discord called Zag. Massive shout over to him. And also we're going to be talking about the reveals that are going to be incoming this Saturday at the New York Toy Fair. So let's jump in and let's get started. So the images you're seeing in the background now were sent to me from a chap called Zag over on my Discord, as I've just mentioned. Again, massive shout out to you, mate. Now, for those of you who are not familiar what is going on with the Conquest Magazine, basically, if you're subscribed to them, they send out big bundles every couple of months and everything like that. You know, paints, books and stuff. I think the last big book was actually dedicated to the Silver Templars themselves. It was kind of a codex, but not a codex. Now, for those of you who don't know who the Silver Templars are, they're basically an Ultima founding chapter which was made for the Conquest Magazine. They are sons of Rabuta Gilliman. That means they are an Ultramarine successor. No, they are not sons of Rogal Dawn, even though they have Templar in their name. It's kind of funny that basically the Silver Templars have kind of had more content than the actual Black Templars this year. And what I mean in terms of content, like, you know, brand new decal sheet, brand new characters, because again, in the background you'll see a data sheet now with Lieutenant Escadon. We'll go in that in a second. Of course, stratagems and stuff. The Templars have kind of had that when their Faith and Fury book came out in the Psychic Awakening, but I definitely think that the Templars, the Silver Templars, have definitely had more love than the Black Templars. Right, let's jump in. Let's look at this third data sheet, and then we'll go for the stratagems, and we'll also take a look what's in the box as well when you get the Silver Templar stuff. So the first one is Lieutenant Escadon. Now, what you're seeing right here now is basically a normal lieutenant. They've just named him and given him a fancy name. The only thing I can see which is different is his leadership. A normal lieutenant has a leadership of 8, if I'm not mistaken, and this one has a leadership of 9. Really nothing out there. In the abilities, Codex Discipline, models in this unit can still shoot in a turn which they fall back, but if they do not, you must subtract 1 from for the hit rolls in the shooting phase. That is basically the Ultramarine tactic, if I'm not mistaken, or I think it's just like an extended Ultramarine tactic, because Ultramarines could fall back and still shoot from combat. So yeah, since they are successors from the Ultramarines, it kind of makes sense that they're getting this kind of Codex Discipline. And on the same page, this squad Icos or Oscas, I simply don't know how to do that. Again, nothing really different with this with a normal Intercessor squad. It's just got a fancy name. That's really all it's got. Again, it's got the Codex Discipline thing in there, but apart from that, it's just a normal Intercessor squad. Now, some of the things you also get in this is some stratagems. It says mission stratagems. This is a part of the Conquest Magazine, and you can see some of them now aimed at the Death Guard, and some of these are aimed at the Silver Templars. In the Conquest Magazine, they've definitely gone with the Death Guard as their enemies. I'm doing enemies in air quotes because everyone's an enemy in 40k. But of course, the Silver Templars have got some nice little things as well. So for one command point, you can use this stratagem. Use this stratagem at the start of the fight phase. Select one Silver Templar character and one enemy character. In this fight phase, you may reroll all failed hit rolls made by selected Silver Templar characters against selected enemy characters. And the next one down is targeted volleys. This is 2 command points. Use this stratagem just before a Silver Templar Intercessor attacks in the shooting phase. When resolving any of these shooting attacks made with Stalker bolt rifles, the Silver Templar player may allocate the wound dealt to the enemy. So there we go. There is some nice fancy stratagems. Now, for the actual box itself, what you're seeing in the background is what it comes in. So you get a big Silver Templar painting guide, which is really, really nice. You know, a nice fancy box. In here, all the paints, you can see that the nice little... I really wish GW did their books in this kind of binder format. I'd definitely buy more books if that was the case. I always like books done like this. So you get like how to paint Silver Templars. He absolutely listed what he actually got. He actually says it's got 5 multi-part Primaris Intercessors, a Primaris Lieutenant from Wake of the Dead box set, a Silver Templar transfer sheet, which we'll get into a second, and the paints you get in there are Caliban Green, Screamer Pink, Avalon Sunset, Mornfang Brown, Balthazar Gold. You get Moot Green, Fire Dragon Bright, Valdor Brown, Screaming Skull, Pink Horror, Administarium Grey, and technical paints is Storm Shield and Sterling Mud. Now on to the actual decals themselves, because I think these are very, very fancy. I really wish GW did this more, like these big massive decal sheets, especially from like the first founding chapters. Like me as an Imperial Fist, I have to buy like the upgrade kit just to get a little small Imperial Fist sheet. Yes, I can go to Forge World and get that, but the Forge World stuff is mostly designed for the Imperial Fist stuff back in the Horus Heresy, so the logo is very, very different to the Imperial Fist logo set in 40k. And what I mean by that, if you look at the Horus Heresy logo and you look at the logo that we have now in 40k, it's a lot more rounded. The fist is a lot more rounded. It's got that rounded shape to it. So that's why I don't really decal with my Horus Heresy stuff. I know I probably should to save money, but I just like doing the 40k stuff. But this is what I want, a massive sheet like this. This is absolutely fantastic. I love this. I love all the little battle line, the close support, fire support. I like how they got little red skulls on there. I like all the campaign badges, all the other little badges like honor marks and stuff. I absolutely love like the tank decals. And look at that Novaris at the bottom with the Silver Templar stuff and all that kind of stuff. If GW could do this for the Conquest magazine, surely they can do it for the some other chapters. I really think if GW made a made to order decal sheet on their website with official chapters, like Flesh Tearers and Black Templars, again you can go in with more the Crimson Fist, Imperial Fist, even Ultramarines, Raven Guard, Salamanders, a big sheet like this with all fancy decals on it, much like Forge World does, then I really do think that they'd make a killing. It really would be a little thing, because that's what I keep seeing off people. Oh, I don't have these decals, and they have to go certain places or get them custom made off certain people. So I think that's one of the stages that GW should actually start looking into. The book itself, as you see in the background, it's the Silver Templars. The contents is introduction, build, paint, and stuff like that. A little glimpse inside the book, what he sent me and stuff. The back of the book, inside the lieutenant, how to assemble him. It's just a normal lieutenant from Wake of the Dead box, like he stated. Nothing too fancy, and there's some lore pages in there as well, which he also sent me and stuff like that. So yeah, it's looking really, really nice. If I was a Silver Templar fan, well, I am a Silver Templar fan. I like the Silver Templars. I think they have some cool rule about it. But if I was actually making this, then this is something that I definitely have to buy. Now onward to the reveals incoming on February the 22nd. This banner has now appeared on the Warhammer community website, so it's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern time. That is New York time. Everyone who is in America land, this is for you. This is the 2020 Toy Fair New York. So for us, people in the United Kingdom, probably of Europe, it's going to be at 4 o'clock. But for us, because I think you guys are an hour ahead, it's going to be 3 o'clock. So right in the afternoon for us chaps. Now, Toy Fairs are normally for smaller S type of games. Stuff like Aeronautica, stuff like Titanicus, Necromunda, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, we've kind of seen the next two parts of Aeronautica. We've seen the next, I said the next two parts. We've seen the next part of Aeronautica with the Tau stuff. They actually put an article up on it the other day showing some of the Tau vehicles off. When it comes to Titanicus, we've already seen the stuff attached to that as well, the new Side Titans and stuff. So I'm thinking that this one is probably going to be with Necromunda, because I know Necromunda is pushing a lot of new stuff now. We just had the new gangs, the new expansions to the gangs, but also I think Blackstone Fortress is due to get something. I know Blackstone Fortress got some Death Guard stuff the other day, which I basically thought was not worth it at all, by the way, because you're basically paying just for the cards. I really, really hope that GW starts selling these cards separate and not the models, because people are paying for models that they already have to use in the Blackstone Fortress, and I don't think it's very fair of them to actually do that. So hopefully they start selling cards separate. You've also got stuff like Warcry, don't forget, for AOS and stuff like that. Someone said, do you think they could possibly show off Gaz Skull here? Maybe, yes. They could do, but the only thing about the Toy Fairs is, as I mentioned before, it's for more specialist type of games. Maybe like the Bandai did that big Space Marine toy and stuff like that. Maybe something like that could be shown off here in a bit more detail, or maybe different versions of that. Something along those scales is something I expect coming from these type of events, rather than big full tabletop releases for 8th edition, and that's more or less for big events like LVO and Adepticon and that kind of stuff. But I won't put it past GW. Hopefully it is, because I'm dying to see Gaz Skull. I think we've been teased so so much now from GW. It's like, come on now, I know you're showing the Banner Bearer off. Yes, he looks amazing, he looks cool, but just bloody give us Gaz Skull. We all want a taste of Gaz Skull at this moment in time. And of course, I'll be here when all that drops, so whatever drops, if it's 40k related, I will make a video, go on about it, look at it, squeal about it. Hopefully it's Rogel Dawn, but I don't think it's going to be anything like that at a toy fair. I don't think Rogel Dawn is going to be coming for a few years. He still lives in my heart. He will always live in my heart. Right, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below, and we'll have a nice little chat about it down there. If you're a Silver Templar fan, this is probably something that you want to be getting for your army. Again, reveals incoming Saturday. Super excited for it. Let's see what GW have on the plate for us. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.